I'm Doug Oster from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Welcome to Digging with Doug. A little bit chilly out here today. That's, I guess, a tradition for Digging with Doug in the spring, but no rain, which is great. Today we've got quite a disaster behind me here. This should all be grass, but it's not.
We're going to get the tiller out. We're going to dig this all up, then we're going to give it a little bit of fertilizer, some seed, some straw, and hopefully in a couple of weeks we'll have a nice green lawn. My wife loves Digging with Doug because I'm finally getting this job done. I've been waiting 2 years to do it.
Digging with Doug has made it possible to get all the jobs that I'm supposed to get done.
I'm only going to dig up a couple inches because I'm not worried about the soil. Because I left all those leaves there, it looks pretty good. I was going to do it by hand, but I got this rototiller. I actually have a rototiller in the garage, but I haven't used it in 10 years. This one's going to be easier to start, and I'm glad I got it. The rototiller costs $50 to rent, but only $35 if we can get it back in 4 hours. So let's get to work.
Okay, I've run this tiller a couple times through here just to see how it works, and I love it. It's a small Troy-built tiller. I was going to get one of those really minis, but this is only 10 bucks more, and it's perfect for what I need. It's going to dig up the soil the way I want it, and it's easy to get in and out of the truck. So let's get to work. We're going to choke it and hope that it starts right up. Aha! Alright, that took about 20 minutes. I'm glad I got that rototiller, that's for sure, because I think I would have spent about a quarter of the way through with just a shovel. So whoever invented the Troy-built tiller, thank you. Now I'm going to get that tiller back to the rental agency because I want to get that for 35 bucks instead of paying 50, and then we're going to start our next jobs. Alright, we got our rototiller returned and we got the discount rate, which is fantastic. The next thing we're going to do is put a little fertilizer on. I'm using this Jonathan Green Natural Beauty organic fertilizer that I love, and we're going to set it into the spreader. The spreader's ready at the right amount. And sometimes when people seed, they don't put the fertilizer on. I don't really think I need much fertilizer, but since it's organic, I'm going to put some on. And when the plants come up, they'll have a little bit of nutrition. So let's get that going. Okay. Pretty well set. Got our fertilizer on. I'm going to rake it in a little bit, then we'll be ready to seed. Now, if you don't have a huge area like this to do, you just have little spots, you can do the same thing. You just dig it up a little bit, put a little bit of fertilizer in there, some seed, and then we're going to cover that seed with some straw so it stays wet. Hopefully we'll get some more rain and we won't have to worry too much about watering. Well, we're just smoothing this out a little bit. Kind of raking in the fertilizer we put on here. We want the seeds to have a nice even coat here. I'm going to open up this bag of seed. I'm going to spread it by hand. I'm going to rake it in, and I'm going to cover it with some straw. And it is raining a little bit. If we get a little bit more rain, we won't have to water, but I'll probably end up watering it in. Once the grass seed gets wet, you don't want it to ever dry out. That's why we're putting something like straw over it. If you had a small area, you could do something like put compost over it, keep that wet. That'll do the same thing, but something has to cover the seed. So let's get things opened up and start throwing down the seed. This is another Jonathan Green product, Black Beauty Ultra Seed. Whatever seed you choose, make sure it's a good seed. Look at what's in the bag. Some seed companies are throwing 50% filler in. This is all seed, so you're getting what you pay for. We don't want the seed to go on too thick, so we're just going to kind of lightly spread it on here.
Well, we actually had some straw left over. We're going to use it here in the vegetable garden. We'll mulch what vegetables we have in here, and then when the weeds come up, we'll throw more on top so we don't have to pull them. Next week, we're going to talk about all sorts of interesting edibles you can plant right now. Potatoes, rhubarb, grapes, some berries, all sorts of wonderful stuff. Onions, shallots. If you've got a garden question, log on to www.post-gazette.com/homes and click on the gardening forum button and ask me anything you'd like to. Until then, we're going to get back into the vegetable garden and probably mulch up some of this garlic. Stephanie, I just planted that. Stay off that.
I will.